Okay, so this is first play of Raja of the Ganges, which is obviously, as always, correct pronunciation. This is primarily a worker placement game, but you're using those workers and dice to you place the workers onto certain points on the board, and you don't get any personal worker placement spaces in this game, but at certain places you'll need to pay with money and or dice to do stuff, and you want to build some of these tiles onto your own personal player board, and if they have to connect back to your house. My house is better than yours. By paths, and if these paths connect to the bonuses around the outside, you get those like money, dice, and so on. So really interesting scoring win mechanism on here. This outer track is money, which can go up and down, and this inner one with the fans is fame. And once your two cross over, that triggers the end game, and the person who's crossed over the most will win. So it looks really complex and a lot going on. It is probably as busy a board I've seen since Euphoria, but actually, again, it's quite well broken down, and lots of things relate to the same things. So there's 4 separate places you can place. This is where you can get buildings. This is where you can get tiles to build on your board. This is where you can activate them for points and money. This is where you can move your riverboat up I guess it's the Ganges.
Makes sense.
And this palace lets you do all kind of like get extra dice and then some really powerful moves. So we have with us, as always, on my right hand side, Mark, the Carl Pilkington of our group.
Yeah.
You think how you feeling about this one?
Seems pretty good.
Because you don't like overly complex games, do you?
Not really.
Which one didn't you like that we played?
I can't remember.
That's a big surprise.
Was it one last time?
You liked Rising Sun though, didn't you?
Yeah, I like that.
So something else.
That was one of my games, wasn't it? You didn't like...
Oh yeah, not Bunny Kingdom?
No.
No, that one was alright.
No,
I was rubbish at it, but it was alright.
Can't remember. There was one you got absolutely tonked at. So worker placement and tile laying sort of our bag in this group, I think. Chris is trying to think now.
Yeah, it's going to drive me potty.
You looking forward to this one?
Yes, it looks really good actually. It looks very colourful. Like you say, a very, very busy board. Yeah, after you've explained it, it does seem clearer.
Yeah.
Although that'll probably change as I start.
The art and the look of it is spectacular. And this win mechanism just intrigues me.
I haven't played anything like it.
I've heard really good things about it, and I think we're seeing some of these newer games. We're seeing more mashups of different styles. Like we played Coal Baron the other day, and that's pretty pure worker placement with the kind of majority, a little bit of area control in a way.
Yeah.
But pretty pure. And then this one is like a mashup, and Rising Sun's a bit of a mashup, so we'll see how it goes. We'll come back in the middle of the game, just to say how we're getting along, see how badly Mark's losing.
Hopefully.
Probably.
You'll probably be one of the ones you win. I think I've got a feeling this is going to be one of the ones he's good at. And see how our player boards are looking. So until then, bye. So here we are after, we reckon, about 5 or 6 complete turns. Oh, well, we haven't played for first marker, so it's come back to me twice, hasn't it? So we'll be about 5. Because this will be this. It will be 6. So as you can see, we're just about to remove our workers. Again, it looks quite busy. All of us have collected an extra worker from the money track, and certainly the money track seems the easiest to build up. But we are just starting to get to the point of the game where we start getting fame. It seems like getting the money tiles first makes more sense in some ways, because you need money to do other things. Chris is racing ahead on the river tile, so I assume he wants his extra worker from there, but he's got quite good there as well, so I guess whichever comes first, because in this game you can only have 2 of the 3 extra workers. You remove one. These 6 are quite powerful moves, and they need the exact dice. The market is great if you've got goods on your province. So we'll take a look at provinces. So you can rotate the tiles any way, and I obviously connected both there, so I got both those bonuses. Buildings score you fame when they're played, and markets score you money. This is where your dice are held. You roll them as soon as you get them, and then you use them. You can use karma to flip dice over to the opposite side. And there's not been loads of comboing, but there's been some moves when you get past something, you get to move up the river, you get a couple of dice, which is quite nice. And I'd say it's flowed really fast in the early rounds, and it's kind of slowed down now as we're really thinking about, we're almost halfway around here and halfway around here, so somewhere around here I'm thinking one of us is going to cross.
Yeah.
And the first person to cross has a distinct advantage depending on where the start player is. In fact, they don't want to do that at that point, do they? They almost want to wait for someone to take the start player who's next to them and then do it.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. How are you finding it?
Pretty good so far. It's
So look at your province where you're talking.
Yeah, it's sort of
4.
the board looks quite intimidating before you start, but there's not much to it.
No, this is a surprising dice and tiles and just some wood, isn't it?
And you do seem to be spending a lot. But you're always getting stuff back as well. So.
Yeah, so the dice situation, you've got 1, I've got 5, because I just activated a couple of bonuses. That is definitely one to keep an eye on. You had to waste a few goes, didn't you? You felt
to sort of get dice back up, because I was sort of running through them quite quickly. Because like you were mentioning earlier, you do at the beginning tend to rush through it to start building something, whereas now you're just trying to think about your plan of action towards the end.
Because these are the only spaces you can get dice without activating bonuses, so it's 1 or swap 1 for 2. So yeah, running out of dice is not a great plan.
No.
These are really interesting, the building upgrades. So basically, as I said earlier, when you build these buildings you get a bonus, but you can upgrade how much you get. So I've gone in quite heavy on that. But you haven't gone in as heavy, and you're still caught up on the fame, mainly from the river, isn't it?
Yeah, the river's helped.
River, yeah. Cool. We'll come back at the end, see who wins, and
Live in glory.
Yeah. Cool. Mark,
Yes,
tell the good people who won.
you.
No second places. This is how it finished. Literally, I mean, that's a winning score of 0. Essentially, because you don't get anything for the tracks. I got to 66 on the money and 28, but because they occupy the same thing, can't take away. Mark was 1, 2, 3, 4 away, and Chris actually, we thought Chris was out of it, but he got his fame up the highest, and if he'd have just got one more, that fame would have moved all the way to there, we worked out. So you're only 1 river move, which was only 2. If he'd got 2 more money, he'd have got that extra river move, which would have sent his fame moving up. So
if it wasn't for that cost.
if we hadn't built, or if you'd done it a bit early, it's like one of those things, isn't it? So it felt quite even all the way through. I think definitely that go where you didn't have any dice cost you more than anyone else.
Yes, definitely.
Everyone else was able to riff into maybe play a 2 and get 2 dice, and then look on a bonus one.
And you two maximised your tiles, whereas I think because I was a bit too busy building my dice back up, you guys moved ahead on the tiles.
We got money easily on the tiles, I would say.
I
Mark
should have
and
done more money earlier.
You only got a few markets, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't get enough markets.
And where I really went in was these upgrades. And actually, it almost did me in at the end, because I wanted 1 extra go, but then I realised Mark wouldn't get another turn because he was the start player. So I maximised that one, but I could have left it leaving it there to get 1 more turn to shoot past and secure victory. But then I remember we've checked the rules, and you only go back round to the start player. Everyone back to the start player gets to place 1 more person, so it's not
finished the round. It's
it's the first place. This game hasn't felt generous. It feels generous in a lot of aspects, not harsh. But so I finished with 3 dice left over. Did all right there? None. But I think it is this player board is key in getting some buildings out.
Definitely.
I mean, the upgrades. Even if I don't think you should wait. Unless you're early on, you can see no one can buy the one you want because you've got the dice. There's no point in waiting to upgrade specifically just to get that 1 more point. Just whack them on there and start getting up the fame track, because the fame track gives you bonuses more quickly. But we didn't start moving up to it till about halfway through the game.
Yeah.
I think you got up it once from the river, didn't you? And there was no fighting for the first player marker, was there? No one went there.
Really. I think didn't someone take it once?
I think
I was going to, but then I didn't. I think
I'm sure someone.
you
maybe.
used one.
You
of
used
these.
that,
Yeah.
So
But
I thought someone else.
I think because you've got so fewer workers,
yeah,
you kind of feel as though you want to do something a little bit more productive with it,
yes,
and because you've got multiple places, the only place that you haven't got multiple places to is here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can only go once
Yeah.
on the market one. But yeah, and yet again, you flew off on the river track, but I got up there when I was ready by using the 6 a couple of times, and that one got me some points at the end, which I thought, yeah. Well, that's the bonus of upgrades again, isn't it? There's some ending ones where you can. Oh, it was Karma, not upgrades that, so it would have been 6 max. Yeah. So yeah.
I think getting the more expensive tiles early when you've got dice already, because there were a few times where I had fewer dice
Yeah.
at the start. Get them early, and then you've got. So I had like 4. I had 7 coins straight away, and then another 6.
Yeah.
And like, especially on the edge. So.
And different marketplaces, because I only had 2 different
Yeah.
ones, and that didn't
Yeah.
help me.
There's 3 total different
Yeah,
ones. So
definitely want to get all
I
3
think
out.
you
there.
only get. Oh, that one's got 1 on it. Most of them have either 2 or 3 coins. That's the one I've seen with 1 coin on it.
Although, these more expensive ones, once they're past 6, they're all essentially the same,
Yeah.
because they will cost you 2 dice, whereas 1 to 6 might only cost you 1 dice,
Yeah.
and you've got the mitigation of the karma track, which lets you flip the dice. So you say more expensive, it's kind of a combination of that, but don't let the numbers fool you. If it's got a 10
Yeah.
on it, that's where the luck of the roll comes in, but it's not necessarily more expensive, is it? It's going to
Not
cost you 2
necessarily, yeah.
dice. Yeah. No, I really liked it. I
But
like
it's
they've thought about things like these markers which move round, so you know which bonuses you've taken. The insert is pretty functional. It seems well thought out, and you feel like you're doing a lot of resource management, even though this is all you've got in front of you. You haven't got any bits of wood or cardboard punch board to stack up and count. It's all done through the really clever fame and money board, and this. I think next time we'll all be much more aware of this crossing over, because someone could just go fame, couldn't they? Essentially, keep spending their money to boost their fame up. It'd be interesting to see that.
Well, you never
actually.
lose fame, do you? Whereas you do
No,
lose money.
yeah.
But money
I think
is easy
it's
to get.
always going to be on this strip or this corner. There's going to be the
Probably,
likely
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're going to want the bonuses, because that's a good way
And
of
that's
comboing.
half and half, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
60 money is out of 120 and
Yeah.
30 fame.
Yeah,
out
so I
of
didn't get
60.
to half fame, but I got over just halfway on money. So that is Raja of the Ganges, the Blue Raja. Thanks, Chris. You going home yet?
Soonish, probably.
We'll see you on our next first play.
Yeah.
Say bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
I tried to cut him off. I did.